Okay, so since you all are champions of physical and shit, let's do something different now. Let's talk about physical video games, man. Let's randomly pick out something off the wall, huh? How about that? Wait a minute. Oh, this one was perfect. How the fuck did I just do that? This is great. Let's talk about this one. Aerial Knights Never Yield, and we are playing this on the Nintendo Switch. So I had this one sealed on the shelf for about a year or so, a game that I almost wrote off in the first 10 minutes of me playing it, but ended up really vibing with it like way harder than I expected. Highly stylized 3D side scroller that feels like an endless runner mixed with like parkour, and it has like a Detroit style to it, filled with hip-hop jazz music. So a little bit of context before we get into the gameplay itself. Let me talk about the developer, Neil Jones, aka Aerial Knight. It's a black indie developer from Detroit, and you feel that Detroit influence all over this game. The game is available on the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox Series X, Steam, and Epic. Me playing this on the Switch showed one of the faults that I have with this game, but I have more positives than negatives, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. You got your play, your outfit, levels, and then the language options. Nothing real complicated. Just FYI, I got my copy from Super Rare Games, so shout out to them. They do limited prints, which is always a plus. If you're a collector, not sure if they still have more printed copies on their website, but if you're looking for one, you might want to give them a look. Once you hit play, the game does not waste any time. No tutorial, no warm-up. They throw you straight into the action. So at first, I was struggling big time. The synopsis reads that you're controlling Wally, this mysterious kid in futuristic Detroit, and your whole job is to outrun these drones, corporate enemies, and whatever else is just trying to take you out. You're using simple controls, up, down, left, right, to jump, slide, vault, and flip over the obstacles. The game uses a slow-mo when like hazards appear, giving you like a split second to react. And for me, I needed that. One thing I actually like is how the game is color coded with your actions. Purple means slide, red means jump, yellow means side flip parkour, blue means speed boost. This is going to help you a lot once your muscle memory kicks in. Early on though, I was dying left and right. About 15 deaths in the first level alone. But the game is real generous with the checkpoints, so you're not getting sent all the way back. Thank God for that. The visual style, the cel shaded art style is cool, but sometimes the obstacles blend into the background a little too well, where it was moments where I genuinely couldn't tell what I was supposed to avoid. That led to some frustrating moments. But when it works, it works. The slow-mo, the parkour animations, the chase sequences, they all look stylish. So as you're going through the level, the game keeps throwing you curveballs, right? Factory presses and explosions, office hallways, busy highways with police cars, drones chasing you, cars hitting you out of nowhere. You get a bonus level where you get one shot of doing it. It's at one point at the game where this guitar playing guy in a van shooting musical notes at you, and every level ends with some kind of award, some new outfits, a jacket, jumpsuit, merch for some kind of merch for your character. You first start off with this Detroit jacket that had me thinking of Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop. That was a nice touch. Now I gotta be honest, around mid-game things started to feel a little bit samey. So you'll start replaying levels from different characters' perspectives. And sometimes for me, that feels like filler. It's an indie game, so I'm not mad at it, but it's noticeable. Still though, that music, it just keeps you locked in. jazzy hip hop, saxophone, turntable scratches, trap snares. Nothing real hardcore, just real good vibes with it. Definitely some head bobbing music. As far as difficulty, this game is all about timing and muscle memory. You're gonna die. You're gonna die a lot. But every death teaches you. You will eventually start flowing through the levels with confidence. Normal mode gives you a slow mode with warnings. There's a harder mode that takes those helpers away. So if you want a challenge, it's there. One thing I do not recommend, playing it with the analog stick. Just don't do it. Use the pad. So one of the main issues that I have with this game is the Switch and its terrible loading screens. The loading screens for the Switch, the OG Switch, has always been bad, and it's terrible here. I'm talking about original Xbox PS2 era slow, especially in a game that's supposed to be fast and fluid. I don't know if the PlayStation and the Xbox versions run better, but on the Switch, it's bad. So just prepare yourself for that. The story itself is simple but stylish. Like I said, you're this guy Wally, a kid that uncovered some critical data that like would change Detroit. So now you're on the run from like corporate enemies. There's no dialogue in this game. The game tells its story through the cinematics and the vibe of it. So later on you play a antagonist who looks like basically a modded version of yourself. I haven't reached the end yet, but I'm sure that it gives you a full explanation. So my thoughts, we'll go through a little checklist. The good was just the soundtrack, that strong Detroit culture and the identity of it. The full addictive gameplay. This game is very, very addictive. I could not put the game down. Lots of checkpoints. Love checkpoints. Keep those covered. Hate to fucking go through a game and die and then have to go all the way back. I hate I hate that shit. Real stylish parkour animations, replayability. If you're a challenge hunter, the Nintendo Switch do not have trophies, so if you're looking for a bit of a challenge like a no death run, that is where you're going to get the replayability from. Nice, cool, unlockable outfits that you get for every level that you beat. Not so good is the repetitive level design, man. I do not fault an indie game for that. From what I hear, it was just Neil Jones, and he basically did this on his own. Much respect to him. Nothing real bad to complain about. Twitch loading screens is just abysmal. Just terrible. Not a fan. If the Switch 2 loading screens are better, somebody let me know. Or is that just a Nintendo Switch thing altogether? I have that issue with a lot of Switch games in the first place, but in this game you can really feel it. It was really bad. And the story was just vague unless you just read between the lines. But do I recommend it? If you're a fan of Bit Trip Runner, any of those rhythm runners, endless runners, absolutely. This game really nails that rinse and repeat, die and learn formula with great music to boot. You really feel that Neil Jones put his heart into it. So I'm definitely going to keep playing it. I'm definitely going to keep supporting Neil Jones. He has a game on Xbox right now that I need to check out. I'm definitely going to be checking that out in the next few days. I had this game for the longest, even before I found out who Neil Jones was. And just recently I was on IG, and by accident while I was doom scrolling, his IG came up, and me not even knowing that he developed this game, he was talking about it, and I was like, oh shit, I got that game. So I was glad that we grabbed this one and the random pick. So definitely was looking forward to playing this one. So yeah, that's my impressions on Aerial Knights Never Yield for the Nintendo Switch. This is OWS The King for OWS The King Gaming, your hub for casual gaming. I have an idea to review every single game that I own. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now I'm talking about physical, storage, digital, all that shit. because I play it all because I am a true gamer.